Hey, what's happening, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the 5th episode of King Penny's podcast, man. Hey, want to remind you this weekend we got back to school haircuts at the Wade Powell and the Rockies at 1610 Main Street in Longmont, Colorado from 8 a.m. to noon, man. This weekend on Sunday, man, bring the kids out, grab a lift, grab breakfast. We got breakfast by Roses and Cilantro, man. Hey, it's going to be a big event, man. Come enjoy. Hey, but let's get down to business here, because we got a special guest. Look, I already started the shift and everything like that because she's very interesting. So you're going to like this, man. So I'd like to welcome the guest, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, so what's your name and where you're from?
Yeah, I'm Victoria Schlutz. I'm from Longmont, born and raised.
That's 2 times this season. Hey, we keep a track. Hey, man, people are from Longmont, man. That's crazy. No, but your whole life.
My whole life, my whole family lives about 15 minutes from each other. All of us live in Longmont. I'm sure you know someone that's related to me if you're around here.
Yeah.
But, my mom owns Estate Professionals. It's like a real estate company in Longmont. And so we've seen all the new people moving in. So welcome to Longmont. But, yeah.
No, super cool. So what do you do for a living?
I help my mom out with real estate. That's been what I've done for a while now. And I mainly do like management, training, and like organization stuff. I'm licensed though, so whatever she needs me to do, that's what I do.
How long you been licensed?
Just 4 years now, probably.
Goodness, I didn't even know that when we were talking. I was like, oh, man, you're legit. Like, that's crazy. Nah, that's super cool. So outside of real estate, right?
Yeah.
Let's get into the stuff that I want to talk about.
The interesting stuff.
Yeah, man. So tell us about this fitness journey.
Right. So I'm doing bodybuilding right now, and I'm hesitant to call myself a bodybuilder because I haven't done a competition yet, but technically that's what I am. I don't know. I started lifting when I was really young, like 14, 15 years old in high school at Niwot. As a teacher there, Tom Kajiwara, he fostered a really great environment for lifting. And then I was really into sports in high school, and I dibble-dabbled in college too. And so I was always lifting for the sports. And then I became a firefighter, which I told you that.
Yeah.
For Lions, I was a volunteer firefighter I started in 2020, so right before COVID hit. And then I was lifting for that for a long time. So it's just kind of always been around in my life, but I wasn't like a bodybuilder. I was just always lifting for like a purpose, a sport, a goal.
Yeah, because you used to do like Ironman and all that.
Yeah, I loved my cardio for a long time.
Yeah.
I really wanted to do an Ironman back when I started the fire department. So I was like running, I don't know, between like 10 to 20 miles every day. It was a lot of cardio, which is not how you're supposed to do it. I didn't have a coach
My legs
or
just started cramping up when you said that. Like, I was like, 10 to 20?
Yeah. I do 350 calories of cardio now, and I'm like, this is miserable. So I don't know how I ever did that, but I did. And I wouldn't recommend it without training.
Yeah.
You should definitely have a coach.
So when's the show?
Yeah, so the bodybuilding show we're doing is in September. It's September 23rd, and it's in Colorado Springs. Believe it's Muscle Quest that's hosting it, and it's an NPC qualifying show. So if you qualify, then you get to go to nationals. So that's pretty cool, especially for a natural show. I guess Colorado Springs hasn't had one in a couple of years, so it's a big deal for sure.
No, I like I said, I saw some pictures on Instagram. It's coming together.
Yeah.
Fast.
The physique is surprisingly coming together. We've had a lot of hurdles building it because, I broke my back a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And when I broke it, I didn't know I broke it. So I kept working out and running on it. This was in that same time I became a firefighter, so like early of 2020. And I think I ran on it until August. So from February to August, I was running on it. I was doing fire, and I was a probationary firefighter. And your tasks include like carrying other people down ladders. And one of the guys in my group was like 230 pounds. And so you can imagine me carrying that guy down. My back did not like that. And then we had like a wildland, like a red card test where you have to walk a certain distance in a certain amount of time, which isn't a big deal. but you do it weighted, like with a weighted vest on. And I remember when we did that, I had to have them duct tape the vest around me so that it wouldn't move at all, because any movement from that vest, if it wasn't tight, made my back just hurt so bad. So they had to cut me out of it when we got done. But so I probably should have stopped before it got that bad, but I didn't. So can't go back in time and fix it. But
No, you can't. Do you miss firefighting?
I do. I get to live vicariously through my fiance because he's a firefighter.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm always like, oh, what calls did you get? What did you do?
And he's also a competitor as well. Like he will be.
He will be, yeah. Right now he's training for Classic. He's putting on a lot of size.
Is there any time for his show, a time frame for it, or?
I kind of think he'll compete next year.
Yeah?
But I think it's also going to be really hard for him with fire because their schedule is so different. And, you know, it's when you're on prep, consistency is really important. And he doesn't have like a consistent work schedule. So it's a little bit different. But I think next year he'll do something.
How is it like, you know what I mean? Because I'm sure that he holds you accountable. Well, I'm sure you hold yourself accountable, but...
Yeah, he does not hold me accountable.
No? He doesn't?
No, he does not. He is definitely of the mentality when I am tired and do not want to do something, he is very much so like, you don't have to do it today. You're okay. You want to have Chick-fil-A? Ask Brie if you can have a cheat meal. Yeah. And I'm like, no, I can't do that. I don't want to do that. So, but I will say he does hold me accountable for cardio. In the mornings, he will hold me accountable. But at the end of the day, not so much.
But Bree's not trying to hear any of that.
No.
So if you call her and ask her about some Chick-fil-A if you want to.
Well, you know, she's really good about protecting my mental health during prep, because that is it. She really cares about fostering like a good environment around lifting. Yeah. You know, I though really do not want to say that my mental health needs to have a cheat meal. Like if I can't go 5 months without Chick-fil-A, I feel like I have a problem. Just like with
they got waffle fries. They got waffle fries.
It's the sauce.
Oh, yeah.
It's the sauce.
That'll get you every time.
That's what I want. Everyone is like, oh, don't you want the French fries? And if you've had French fries without like Chick-fil-A sauce or ranch or something, they're really not fire. Yeah. They're just okay. Yeah, it's not good. You
gotta dip them in something.
You gotta dip them in something. So I don't know. Sometimes I like the cheat meals. I've only had 2 so far.
That's good. And in 5 months?
Not quite, but in 3 months about.
That's not bad at all.
Not bad.
Yeah. That's
and
good.
One was because my back seized up during prep. I went too hard on a leg day, and I shouldn't have done it, but I did. And it kind of had a 4-day seizure, and then it relaxed. And then the other one I got actually this week, which was pretty nice, because I was leaning out a little bit too fast, and we wanted to do a slight refeed and see if we can push in the gym a little bit harder to get a little bit more size.
So what's the overall, like, weight-wise? Is there a number, or is there just a look?
It's just a look.
Okay.
I mean, I can tell you that I started at 145, and I'm down to 139 and a half right now, like as of this morning. I've been holding 139 for a bit. I'd say I started around 29% body fat. I'm at 16 right now. I get a thyroid panel next week just to make sure everything's healthy and good, because it is really hard on women's bodies to prep naturally. And we got to take all the precautions that we can just to make sure that my body's healthy during prep and as well as after, because that's the most important thing, right? Like prep is only going to come around once or twice or something in my lifetime. So
while I got you right here, I want to ask, I know I probably didn't run this by you, but what advice would you give a woman trying to maneuver into this bodybuilding from just regular, just everyday gym person? Yeah. Because I hear a lot of them say, oh, I don't want to get too big. I don't want to, you know what I mean? There's a lot of excuses, I guess. I look at it like that, but.
Yeah. No, I think it's really, so when I started lifting, let's just start this. When I started lifting when I was younger, lifting was not cool. Yeah. And like, I'm not that old, but lifting for chicks hasn't been cool until recently. Like last 5-ish years, everybody wants to like be a muscle mommy, but that was not a term when I was lifting. Yeah. And so I was really scared about getting too big, but because I was always lifting for a sport or a job, I didn't really care too much. But when I wasn't working those jobs, then I actually did care about how I looked. And I also did not want to get too big. Now, I mean, everyone's genetics are different, right?
Yeah.
My personal genetics let my upper body get huge. So I am that girl that I can bench or curl and my arms will blow up. But, I mean, now it's kind of like, it looks good.
Yeah.
You know, people are like, wow, you're jacked. You look so good. You know, you look great in that dress or whatever.
Yeah.
So that there is that, you know. But I think if you're really interested in bodybuilding and you're concerned about getting too big, I think it's really important for you to know that it is so hard to put on that muscle.
Yeah.
It is not easy. You have to be eating in a surplus, which I think everyone has this idea that it's easy, because I think they have a dirty bulk in their head. Mm-hmm. But if you're doing if you're eating clean and you're eating 3,000 calories a day, that is hard to eat all that food.
Yeah.
You know, that is not easy. It is not easy to push yourself really hard in the gym and like get those extra 4 or 5 reps that are actually going to grow you. And especially if you're working out alone, if you're working out with a partner who's going to push you harder, that's one thing. But if you're working out alone, it is really hard to take yourself past that point when your mind says stop, right? Yeah. So I think if I was going to get into bodybuilding, first of all, I'd talk to a coach. I think that's the first thing, because it is something you have to have a plan for. The second thing is I wouldn't worry about your size. It's really hard to get big. It's really hard to get big as a girl. Then naturally you might have bigger quads or whatever, but there's going to be a body part that's hard to grow.
Yeah.
We all have that, right? And the other thing is you have to know why you want to do it. Like why, like seriously, like why would you want to be a bodybuilder? Do you just want to get lean? Because that's a fine goal to have. You just want to get lean and cut and like feel healthy, but then you probably shouldn't be a bodybuilder, because you need to have a bigger why, especially when things get tough. You know, you have to have a bigger purpose for why you're doing it. It can't just be, I want to get lean, because you can get lean without being a bodybuilder.
I don't think a lot of people probably maybe have the discipline that you have. It seems like you're disciplined. The way you locked in right now mentally,
yeah,
is probably on a whole nother level than the average, I guess, just day-to-day person. Like, you know, to go 90 days, 100 some days with like 2 cheats, and you know what I mean? It's like, and one of them was out of necessity just because you were thinning out. Like, you know, a lot of people, a prime example, people come to me all the time, hey, I want to lose weight, I want to get bigger and everything like that, but I want to kind of just thin out a little bit and everything like that. Yeah. And I'm like, cool, we can do that. Yeah. First thing they always ask me, when can I have a cheat meal? We're done talking. Like, you know what I mean? If that's the first thing, like, you know, I really honestly, and I tell them already, you need to discipline your mind off the top.
Yeah. It's
so true. And just put cheat meals just out of the way.
It's so true. Your mentality with food changes. Some people think it's unhealthy, but I actually think it's probably the healthiest mentality you can have with food is bodybuilding, because you start to look at food as fuel. Yeah. You know, and you're like, okay, I want to give my body what it needs. Not necessarily what it wants, just like a kid. Like, you don't just give kids everything they want. You give them what they need. And I think your body turns into that as a bodybuilder, where you say, okay, I want carbs right now, but I've hit my carbs for the day. My body needs protein. I need to give it protein for it to function at a high level and for me to feel good tomorrow. You know?
How do you stay mentally, like, because, you know, like, with the endurance work you used to do and whatnot like that, it speaks to your work ethic, right? How do you do that and maintain this back? Like, with your back the way it is, like, how do you balance?
Well, breaking it was really traumatic. I will say that. Learning to cope with it not being a part of my identity. Let me rephrase that. Learning to cope with working out not defining who I was extremely hard, because I was down, like I told you, for like 6 months. I couldn't walk. I had to take a walker to Christmas. That's probably one of the most humiliating things I've ever done. I had to set I cried about it actually for days. I had to take a walker to church to go be with my family for Christmas because I couldn't walk at church. And I was like, okay, I can either stay home and not what I saw as humiliate myself in front of this group of people, or I can set aside my ego today and I can go be with my family, and that's more important. And so once I set my ego aside, then I started defining myself in different ways. So now I define myself as doing the things that I said I was going to do. You know, if I, tell Bree, for example, I'm going to give you 100% effort, then I'm going to give her 100% effort and I'm going to follow all of the rules. Like, that's just who I am as a person. It doesn't matter who I am as an athlete. That who I am as a person is I'm going to show up because I told you I was going to show up. Yeah. And even if I can't lift here in a year or 2 years, that's okay because my identity didn't change. I'm still going to do the things I said I was going to do. And that's going to be something I'm grateful for. And I'm just grateful to be even lifting. So the difficulties of prep and bodybuilding don't even faze me anymore because I'm just so grateful to be doing it.
So you're just playing with house money pretty much is what you're doing.
Basically, I mean, how can I be upset when it's like a miracle that I get to even be lifting at all? Yeah. Nonetheless, pushing heavy weight. And then on top of that, I'm actually killing it right now in prep. And we were putting on muscle and losing fat. And that's hard to do in a natural prep, and everyone compliments me on it, but really 90% of the work is coming from like my fiance who supports me when I'm hangry, and Bree who puts together the plans and the coaching and tells me what to do. I just follow instructions.
Because it's working. Because that's the first thing I said when you came in. I said, look at these delts of yours. I was just like, hey, hold on. How'd you get these to cap off like that? That's the first thing I asked you because I was just like, mine are rounded and it's just going bad. Look, trying to pick your brain. That's like you just like lateral raises.
Yeah. Lateral raises, man. People hate doing them or they do them wrong. Yeah. And when you do them right, first of all, ow. But second of all, the pump's ridiculous. Like a good arm pump is ridiculous. Oh, yeah. And thirdly, like they will cap out. Like if you do them heavy, they'll cap out. Like I don't do mine super heavy anymore, but I do like 20s for my working set, which I mean, it's pretty okay. Yeah, it's not bad for 12 reps. Yeah. And I'll start off a drop set with it too. And it's not bad. But my shoulders, I am very proud of my shoulders.
That's your favorite part to train?
Yeah, right now it is.
What's the least? Is there something that you like?
Today's my least favorite day, everyone. So
everyone. She said everyone. So if you want to support me, today is the day, she said.
No, today is a quad day. Oh. And today consists of, for everyone to know, today consists of belt squats, and there's 2 working sets on a belt squat and then 1 drop set. I don't know if you've ever done a drop set on squats, but that is my soul gets drained. So after that first workout, I'm white and I can't really remember my name. And then I do heavy leg presses, so 10 plates, 12 plates, and then I do 2 drop sets on that, and then I do leg extensions, and I do 2 drop sets on that after a full working set. So this is 2 drop sets after I'm dead. Yeah. And then we do some adductors and calves and stuff. But by the time I hit,
and also too, you train at a really nice gym too. That's always a plus.
That dark horse, man. The belt squat is what is allowing me to build any kind of muscle in my legs right now with my back.
Right. Bree told me, she promised me she's going to get me in here. I'm coming, Dark Horse.
Yeah.
Look.
No, you can come as a guest with either one of us.
That's what she said. I said, I'm going to hold her to that. I'm coming up in there because I see when people post videos, I'm like, man, super nice in here.
Yeah, if anybody is looking for a good bodybuilding, powerlifting gym, it's technically not in Longmont, but I mean, it's not too bad. It takes me about 20 minutes from my house to get there. It's Firestone.
Firestone, yeah. And the owners are cool. You know what I mean?
It is a family-owned gym. It's a small business. It's a private gym. They do have a daycare. Oh, okay. And a little plug. And like I said, not many gyms have that belt squat. Yeah. And that was why I chose to work out there, actually, was because I have that belt squat. And that, because I can't do anything spine-loaded with my back. Mm-hmm. So I mean, I do Bulgarians, and occasionally I'll do other things that, they kind of load it a little bit, but it's not like a back squat or a deadlift. So. Yeah.
So so you're engaged?
I am.
Is there any timeline on the big day, or is that?
No.
She said no. Look, you turned into a girly girl really fast. Like she's like, yeah, come lift, and then you go forget.
Yeah.
No.
Actually, so he proposed to me during prep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like, and so because I've only been engaged for like a week and a half.
Thank
you.
Congratulations.
It's new.
No,
It's new.
Look at smiling. Like you still got that
I
glow.
know.
Like yeah, it's time.
But so because I'm on prep, I don't go out to dinner, and I don't like to go like out when everyone else is drinking. Because everyone inevitably wants to get food that I think sounds delicious, and then I get grumpy because I'm eating my food and it's cold and it doesn't taste that good, and they're eating cheese pizza and ranch and drinking beer, and I'm like, well, isn't this just wonderful?
Yeah.
So I don't really like to do a bunch. So he proposed to me in Lions actually at the creek, which is
okay,
perfect
yeah.
because I could do that. That was great for me. I'm just kind of boring right now as a person because my life is so disciplined, which is fine for both of us. But we haven't really celebrated it too much, other than like going to the gym together.
I don't think people really understand like when you're prepping for the show, like just not necessarily the loneliness, but the mental, like you know what I mean. Like
Lord,
you have
strength.
to. No, but I'm just saying though that you have to protect
Yeah.
the mental side of things.
Yeah, and it's such a different thing because some people will think you're stuck up and because you're not doing this stuff, or they think you're taking it too seriously. Probably the biggest insult I've gotten during prep is that people think I have an eating disorder. And that was really actually hard because I feel the opposite way about prep. I feel like it's such a good thing for my body to be having such a healthy relationship with food.
Because let's be honest though, portions are pretty trash. Like you know what I mean. Like just on a regular day to day when you go out to eat.
Oh yeah.
Like I mean, if you really like think about it, like it's way more than anybody could ever need. Like
way more. And like as a off topic, like my skin as far as like acne goes has never been more clear. I have never slept better. You know, like, because I'm not drinking alcohol. I'm not having any dairy products, which is different. Some people, you know, find the cheat codes in their prep and they use a lot of 0-calorie stuff, or they, you know, add in a 15-calorie energy drink or something. And I'm not really that way. I'm very much so. That's not on my meal plan. I'm not going to have it, except for hot sauce, which, by the way, Safeway has a lot of hot sauces. A lot of 0-calorie hot sauces.
yeah.
But I track everything like down to like the not just gram and ounce, but like down to the calories. So I know I don't even have a piece of gum if it's like 3 calories.
Yeah.
Just because it's not worth it. Plus, with my body being so fragile and inflamed, I don't want to put anything in it that might also inflame it. So I try not to have anything that might have like dyes in it or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I try not to just put stuff in it because it tastes good. Like I'm trying to actually care for it. So when people do say they're like, "Oh, well, you're being so unhealthy with your food," I'm like, that's not what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You don't get it. Like your mentality's off with it, and we're just not in the same space, which is okay. And I had the mental capacity to deal with that a lot in the beginning.
Yeah.
I was fine. I could be a happy, cheery little person and be like, "Oh, it's fine. They don't understand. Not a big deal. I'll have time to explain it to you. I have the energy to explain it to you." But now that we're like single digits, 8-ish, 7-ish weeks out,
Yeah.
I'm a little bit more burnt. So, for example, in the gym, if somebody's being negative, I'm not doing it. Not because I'm stuck up or whatever. It's because I don't, like, the energy I have right now, I'm using it to push myself to go for 5 more reps. And if I add another plate, like if I add 4 plates onto hip thrusts or whatever, then I don't want to hear, "Oh, that's going to be so hard." I want to hear,
And like I said,
"Dang."
people don't understand, man. At the end of the day, calories are kind of low, energy's low. You still have to crank out some cardio and still work
Yeah.
yourself up like mentally to like kind of get psyched up to like, okay,
100%.
let's go ahead and bust this out. Like that takes like, you know, like that you can't give to people arguing or people
No.
talking about things that really don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you realize what really is important to you when you're locked in.
100%. And that's why I'm so, like, I'm so proud of the people behind me.
Yeah.
Because people see my body changing, but what they don't realize is that everyone behind me is like a team, and they're the ones that are allowing me to like actually fall into the program. Like, yeah, I'm the one that decides not to eat off the plan, and I'm the one that pushes myself in the gym. But if they weren't supporting me when like I'm hangry, and trust me, I don't have my coffee first thing in the morning anymore, because you have to have your cardio fasted, and so I have my fasted cardio, which takes me about an hour-ish, 40 minutes, 39 if I'm having a good session, and I have to take my fat burners and my supplements and all of that stuff first, and then after that I get to do my cardio. So my morning doesn't start until I've been awake for 2 hours, pretty much, because I got to practice my posing. I got to take my glucose. I got to, or my insulin, whatever, glucose meter stuff. I got to do that. I have to take pictures. I have to weigh myself. Then I have to get my stuff ready for cardio. I have to do my cardio. And then I come back and I can finally have my cup of coffee. And I am not a pleasant person without coffee. So the fact that my fiance even decided that he wanted to marry me during prep I was like, oh, wow.
If he's going to stick with me.
You're a keeper, yeah.
You know what I mean? Nah, that's good.
Because I'm not pleasant sometimes. Most of the time I try to be, because I am grateful for it. But it's hard.
But I know you're not a big fan of the word motivation, right?
No, I find it to be a dirty word.
But the whole idea of this podcast is to see what motivates the motivated people.
Right.
And what you're doing is, you know what I mean? It's a pretty big undertaking that you're taking on, right? Not like that.
For sure.
So, but let me not use the word motivated.
Yeah.
Where are you drawing inspiration from?
Yeah.
Or where are you tapping? What resource? Where are you going mentally?
Mentally, yeah. So a couple of places, to be honest with you. And part of the reason why I don't like the word motivation, I just feel like it fades. I feel like everyone gets motivated to like clean their house, and then they fall off.
Yeah.
You do it for a day and then you fall off. So like I do like to listen to motivational speeches in the morning when I'm doing my cardio. Music doesn't hit anymore. It just lost its endorphins.
Yeah.
So I'll listen to people like Goggins or Joe Rogan or somebody just Jocko talking about getting up in the morning and doing your stuff. But for the most part, I feel like I've been redirected to do what I'm doing now. And I know that might sound counterintuitive because I shouldn't be lifting according to the doctors, but I tried to do figure, right? I tried to do bodybuilding figure, and I got to the prep and my back seized, and then I couldn't walk for 6 months, and that was bad, right? Yeah. So figure wasn't it. And I tried to do fire, and my back had a lot of problems with fire, and I couldn't do it anymore, right? And then I tried to, even before I did bikini, I was trying to actually do wellness. And my dog died. This is like right before my prep. Yeah. My dog died, who I've had since I was like 20 years old. And it was really sudden. And I was like, I can't put in the effort I need to put in for wellness. I don't think I just got kind of defeated. So I was like, whatever, I'll do bikini. Thinking that bikini was going to be easier because I didn't have to be as big. That was not true. And I have a very different view on bikini now. But I feel like I tried all these other avenues and they didn't work. Yeah. And now I'm doing this and everything is clicking. So I feel like I'm supposed to do it. Like I have a great piece about this upcoming show because I feel like I'm meant to be doing it. That's huge. But on top of that, like I want Brie to look good on stage. I know she's not going to be up there. It's going to be me. But, like, she's the artist, and I'm just the artwork going up there, representing her.
Is that Primal Joy? Right?
Yeah. Yep, that Primal Joy. Yeah, if you guys are looking for a coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like, yeah. We like Brie, man.
She's cool.
Yeah.
She's cool. And that's going to be her career. So I want to make her look good because that's her for the rest of her duration as a coach. Yeah. I'm just going to be up there a couple of times, you know? So I don't want to let her down. She's also my friend. Yeah. So I really don't want to let her down. And then other than just knowing who I am and rising to that occasion, and feeling like I'm meant to do it, sometimes I feel like it's what I'm meant to do in a way of like, if I can do this with my back being the way it is, like I'm not going to put limits on myself anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to limit myself by saying, oh, I have a bad ankle, like I'm never going to be able to run again. Like, I'm not going to do that to myself. I don't want to put limits on my body, because right now my body is doing things that it should not be able to do, and it's doing them really well.
Yeah.
So, like, if it's going to let me do it, I'm going to go. Like, my motto for 2023 has been, I'm going to run for the bus. And if I miss it, then I wasn't supposed to be on it. But I'm going to run with 100% of my effort.
Yeah.
And if I make the bus, then I'm supposed to be on the bus.
Yeah. I think everybody else's is YOLO or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no,
No.
but no, that's a really good one. That's a really good one. But my thing is this, right? So, who, like, if you could have one or two people, right?
Yeah.
Or one or two females.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want to limit you, box you into
Yeah,
just
yeah.
females. I'm talking about just people
Yeah.
that you see that kind of like, oh, okay, like that or like that, who are your go-to, like, and it doesn't have to be just females. It could
Yeah.
be, you know what I mean, like guys, or you know what I mean, like who.
I mean, the person in my life who's probably the most influential, to be honest, is my dad.
Yeah.
But because he had a horrible accident, and he's got chronic conditions from it, and he pushes through that on a daily basis and still has a great attitude about it. But as far as, you know, people who I look up to in the fitness industry, there's not a ton of girls, to be honest, because I feel like when you reach a certain point, especially on social media, some of the people become a little bit stuck up.
Okay.
A little bit. Obviously, Bree's going to be really inspirational to me in a lot of ways. I mean, I don't know if you guys you should go check out her Instagram, because she lifts some huge weight for her size. Huge weight for anybody, for any size.
Yes.
But other than her, I mean, there's a couple of IFBB pros, like Laura Lee Chavados.
Okay.
I
All right.
really like her. I did one posing thing with her, and she was really down to earth and really sweet, very positive.
Yeah.
And yeah, I kind of think she's one of the people that will influence a lot of girls to embrace the healthy part of their bodies and also be able to push them.
Yeah.
You know, because that's the thing with bodybuilding, is that if you don't have that mindset of keeping your body healthy, then you can really fall down a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
You know, you have to focus on being healthy while you're doing it, in my opinion.
And also too, but you also mentioned though you have a lot of support, and so that's really good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially all that you've had to overcome just to get to right here, and
Well, we didn't even think I was going to be able to have kids, actually, because my back was so bad. I mean, it's not like an issue of fertility, but it was an issue of could I carry a kid for 9 months? Because women who are pregnant already have issues with their low back. You know, I mean, my low back is basically the low back of an 80-year-old. So it was like, how am I going to carry it? And then if I have to, how am I going to give birth without a C-section, if, you know, that's possible even? And that was a big concern for me. I had went down a long rabbit hole of all the things I couldn't do. And I came to peace actually with it before I was able to walk again. I was like, well, if this is the rest of my life, I'm just going to be grateful for what I can do, you know, because I could still get around. I did need help putting on my socks and my pants, and I had to have help going to the bathroom, and I couldn't get my own coffee because I couldn't hold the mug. There's too much weight on my back to even hold a coffee cup. And before this is why the prep diet for me is nothing, is because during that time period, I cut out sugar, I cut out gluten, I cut out dairy, I cut out seed oils, I cut out red meat, anything that was even mildly, somebody somewhere thought it was inflammatory, I just cut it out. So I was eating only homemade meals with fresh ingredients that weren't wrapped in plastic, which, you want to talk about hard to find. Like, I was changing everything. I was desperate to feel better. And that was horrible. Yeah, that was miserable compared to prep food. Because prep food, I mean, I get rice.
So this is like, so one of the last questions I want to ask you. Mentally, where are you at for September 23rd? Mentally, are you ready? Are you nervous? Are you anxious? Are you,
Yeah.
Let's get it on. Where are you at?
I think I'm in the let's get it on mode. I mean, it's hard to say because I think everybody wants to know what the other girls are going to look like. You know, everyone wants to know. But there hasn't been a natural show in some time in Colorado. So
It's hard to gauge.
it's hard to gauge. You don't know who's showing up. I have looked at natural girls. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, I have peeked around and seen what natural girls look like. They're obviously athletes who shape their body, and that's good.
You're being kind, huh?
I'm being kind.
Okay.
No, I mean, like,
I know. I like how you just tiptoed around, like, huh?
I mean, I don't want to be cocky either, but I think that it would be really. I would be really disappointed with myself if I did not do well in that show.
I'm trying to tell you, just by your answer though, I like the competitive spirit.
Yeah.
I like the way that you know, your mind is built differently. It's built
Yeah.
for battle.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? That's
We're
that
not-
right there that's most of like the journey.
Yeah.
Like right there alone in any, like even in your injury, even with your dog passing,
Yeah.
even with, you know what I mean, everything that you might face down the line, like your head is like, let's get it. Like
Yeah.
let's find a way to, we'll probably be down about it for a second, but let's get
That's
to
exactly
it. And so
right.
I can hear that in your
We've
in your
discussed
voice and
it
your
too,
answers.
and if I don't make it to nationals at this show, we're going to another show right afterwards. So we're going to go to nationals, but the likelihood of me going to 2 shows, I don't think is very high. I think I'll probably qualify for nationals at this show, because we're not putting in like 95% effort. Everything that can be ticked as perfect has been ticked as perfect. The only slowdown we've had was that my back did seize one time already, and it's not going to happen again. We're not going to let it happen again. We're cruising right now enough to where we actually bumped up calories so that we could put on more muscle because the metabolism was just burning too quick for what we wanted.
Okay.
So, like, I'll see how today goes, but my strength has been ticking up every week. And to be in single digits, like this late in the game, I think that's really a great sign. And on top of that, I mean, I don't want to go to a show that's not competitive and win. Like, it's not about the win. It's about showing up against people who are of the same caliber and then winning. You know, I don't want to, like, be the only person in my class and qualify for nationals.
Yeah.
That would be not fun. That wouldn't be worth the work. I want to compete against girls who, like, put in effort.
Yeah, it's almost like winning the championship when the other best player's injured.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still a championship, because I
championship.
mean, it's all about the long. But you want to beat the best.
I
and-
want all the other girls that show up to be at their best they could possibly be, and I want to show up as the best I could possibly be, so that we can actually have a decent
She
competition.
said so we can rumble.
Yeah.
She said so we can get it in.
And I think that's important. Like, I think a lot of people in bodybuilding in general, even in life, they're competitive, but they're like competitive in a deconstructive way where you want to tear somebody down so that you look better.
Yeah.
And I want to be competitive in a constructive way where I'm going to build you up, but I'm going to beat you.
Okay.
And that's because I want you at your best when I go out there, and I'm going to be at my best, so that when we decide who the winner is, there's no room to be like, oh, well, I hurt my ankle. Like, it's me like, no. You showed up and you were 100%, and I showed up and I beat you.
Look, you over here getting me fired up. We about to go compete right now. No. So, couple quick hitters. What's
Yeah.
on the playlist? Like, so what's on the when you're about to start this quad workout?
Yeah.
What songs? Like, what is like what rock? Is it rap? Is it, you know what I mean? Is it country?
So my country playlist, which I do have, is saved in my phone. So I don't have great service at the gym.
Oh, okay.
So sometimes it's just whatever's going to play is going to play.
All right.
Sometimes. But I recently did save my gym playlist so that I can actually play it at the gym, despite service. So it's more of like I don't want to say like a metal music, but it is a very hard music sometimes, because I don't want to be singing along. I want to be almost getting yelled at when I'm going.
Yeah.
You know?
No.
So yeah.
I always ask people, my bad. Look,
No.
I always ask them, hey, what you got going on up in there? Like, you'd be surprised at the answers, too.
Some people really think that I'm like super sweet, and they're really surprised when they hear my playlist and it's like, "Rrr."
Yeah.
They're like, you listen to this? And I'm like, I do.
Because people be surprised by me all the time, like on like pool days, like I listen to R&B, like and they be like, huh.
Interesting.
Like, like I got some Usher on here, some real slow Usher or something like that.
And sometimes when my other music is playing, like I got an award on Spotify last year for listening to more genres than 95% of other people on Spotify.
Oh my goodness.
So like I got a lot of mixture in there. It just depends what the Wi-Fi gives me.
Yeah.
You know. So.
Well, I want to tell you, I appreciate you showing up.
Yeah, man.
Hey, you're gonna have to come out here and get a lift again.
Yes, we're.
You know what I mean?
We're
Like,
gonna try to hit a lot of arm days at the Rock Pile because we think, first of all, great place, and what you're doing for the community is amazing.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
I love where your head's at right now.
Thank you.
I love that you're locked in on this diet and you're focused up, man. Congratulations on. Look, I got a whole list of things.
Yeah.
Congratulations on the engagement and
Thank
stuff
you.
like that. I look forward to meeting them.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. What else? Real estate. Hope you guys are killing it. You and your
Yeah.
mom. Make sure you tell them what's your mom's agency again, so we can go ahead and type her up in here.
It's Estate Professionals.
Estate Professionals. Yeah, we'll put that down at the bottom.
Yeah.
And what's your Instagram so people can follow you and stuff like that?
Yeah, so my it's my name. So it's Victoria and then it's Schlutz. It's SCHLUTZ.
And we'll put, like I said,
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
put it on the bottom, but you got to spell it out for the people.
I do
Look, you-
because it's not.
Hey.
I know how it sounds.
I know how it sounds. It's not what it sounds like.
No, don't worry, I'm not keeping it. So.
Oh, no, don't do the fam like that. Look, no, I'm joking. But no, like I said, man, we're all rooting for you.
Yeah.
September 23rd and stuff like that, man. Did you book the hotel already? You gonna go ahead and stay down there, or are you gonna drive down on the?
I think we're gonna drive down right now.
Okay, all right.
I'll tell you what though, if we do qualify for nationals, we'll definitely let you guys know first.
Yeah.
Before anything else.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean we're set for Colorado Springs. I gotta take a polygraph.
Yeah,
For them to know that
yeah.
I'm natural.
And
right
then
now.
after you win, you're gonna have to hit that cup.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay? Let it show and tell. Look.
Some people don't think I'm natural right now.
Why not?
and I don't know. I guess because we're doing too well in prep.
Hey,
I don't know. Which
look here, keep killing them then.
I'm gonna take it as a compliment, but yeah, we're set, and we'll let everyone know how it goes because it's gonna be big, not just for me either. It's we're using a local coach who's in Longmont. Like I'm in Longmont, I'm born and raised here, and there's not that many good bodybuilding coaches here in the area. So if you guys are looking for that, like this is, I'll let you know how it goes. First of all, because I've only been training like recently since I could walk since March.
Yeah.
And that's a big difference. If you follow the rules, like you're gonna be a stellar bodybuilder, even if you have a good body. You know what I mean? If you have a functioning one.
Yeah, no, but
Yeah.
like I said, thank you again for your time because I
Yeah.
know I cut into your workout time and stuff
No,
like that.
you're
We're gonna
good,
let
man.
you get to it. Oh, Dark Horse Gym.
Yeah.
Over in Firestone. Check them out. Hey man, we just plug everybody. But don't forget, like I said, this weekend we got back to school haircuts for the kids, man, at the Weight Pile on the Rockies, 1610 Main Street on Sunday, man, 8 a.m. to noon. We got 5 or 6 barbers that are gonna do their thing, man. We got breakfast. Hey, you guys come out and enjoy. Hey, thank you guys for tapping into episode number 5. We got Victoria, man. She's gonna kill it in September. King Penny, we're out of here, man.
See ya.